Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmond School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
And welcome to the Sound Live Sports Network from the Tacoma Dome State Tournament. Here we go. This is where it counts, folks. The Lynnwood Royals, who are coming into the game with a record overall of 21 wins and 2 losses. They're going to take on the West Seattle Wildcats, a team that is 22-3 on the season. Steve Willits along with Irvin Zhang. And Irvin, these two teams on paper are evenly matched up. It should be a fun game.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be close.
So, again, this is the state tournament right now. It is a double elimination tournament. However, if you lose the first game or if you end up in the consolation bracket, you cannot win the entire tournament. In order to be state champions, you need to win all 3 days. So the winner of this game will play at 5:30 tomorrow in the semifinal game against Bellevue. If you lose this game, your season is not over. However, you will be in the consolation bracket playing at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and that team will go on to play Prairie. Teams are huddling right now. Clock is showing 51 seconds to go, so we're just about ready to play. A couple of big name-up players to watch here today. Michaela Pivick, the 5'10" junior for Lynnwood. She's been on fire all year long, averaging 21 points per game. A good matchup for her on the other side, a 6'6", and yes, I said that correctly, the 6'6" Lydia Giomi, who is a junior also. She averages 14.8 points per game, and it'll be interesting to see how Lynnwood plays her, as certainly covering Wesco all year long. Nobody of that caliber, certainly nobody that tall, down low at the post for any of the teams that the Royals have played in the regular season.
I think the stat that stands out more about Michaela Pivick is 11 rebounds per game. That's amazing for 5'10". That's type of stature. So,
you like stats too. The game against Central Kitsap last week, the regional game, 24 points, 24 rebounds for Michaela Pivick. The other team, Central Kitsap, had 27 points as an entire team. Michaela almost out-rebounded them.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and tune down our mics right now. As right in front of us here, the players are lining up. Cheerleaders are out on the court, and we are about to listen to the starting lineups as I turn down my microphone.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the reserves for the Lynnwood Royals. Number 1, Madison Iyer. Number 12, Sarah Grant. 14, Kelsey Rogers. 22, Caprice Boston. 23, Taylor Fahey.
Hopefully you can hear this over our head mics right now as they are announcing both benches for West Seattle as well as Lynnwood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters in alternating order.
Mark Ockett from KRKO is the public address announcer tonight.
Seattle Wildcats, starting at center, a 6'6" junior, number 4, Lydia Giomi.
And here are our starting lineups. Lydia Giomi, the 6'6" junior that we mentioned earlier, being called out right away. Riley Walsh, the sophomore, she had a big game against Central Kitsap in that regional matchup. She gets the start, the 5'8" sophomore. Charlie Elliott, number 10. She is a senior, and she is a defensive specialist, averaging over 4.5 steals per game on the season. And Monty Cooper being called for the Royals right now. She is a 5'10" senior. Had a nice year for Lynnwood. Number 12, Annalisa Ursino, also a senior, getting called for the Wildcats. There's number 4, Jordan Edwards. Speaking of a defensive specialist, she's about as good as it gets. Daughter of head coach Everett Edwards. Number 30 for West Seattle, that's Lexi Ione. Seniors had a very nice year for herself as well. She averages 13.3 points per game. And Michaela Pivick, the all-everything junior, gets called there. Number 32, Emily Fizo. She's a 5'10" senior. Also having herself a very nice year, averaging 12.1 points per game. And finally for the Lynnwood Royals, the spark plug, the senior, the 5'4" guard, Danny Hayes, wearing the number 33. And those are your starters for the Wildcats and for the Royals. Royals wearing the home white uniforms today. Should put together a little quarter jar here for how many times I say tonight. It's 2 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
Used to watching these games at 7 p.m. It's a little bit of a change here.
One thing I would like to mention before the game starts is I like how Lynnwood isn't changing up their game plan. They're not changing up their starters. They're just going to match them with their normal rotation, not try to go big to match Lydia Giomi and her height.
Seattle already on the floor, wearing the dark blue road uniforms. This is a team, and again, 22-3 is quite the record when you think about who they've played. They play out of the Metro Conference. Should mention one name that we did not call out during the intros. Number 21, Gabby Sarver. She is a junior for this West Seattle team. All Metro starting point guard for all season. Tore her ACL about a month ago, and she's out for the year. And they've been doing point guard by committee ever since, and it shows right there as Fizo looking to throw a pass across to Charlie Elliott. Threw it behind her. The ball sails out of bounds, and Lynnwood with their first offensive possession of the afternoon. And that means Jordan Edwards with the ball in her hands. Dribbles around to the right, kicks it back to Pivick. Pivick's going to drive into the lane, kicks it out to an open Walsh for 3. Off the back iron, bounces into the air and rebounded by Ursino. Neither team able to score on their first possession. Fiza with the ball right now. Swings it around to Ione. Ione picks up her dribble. Gets it to Elliott. Elliott with the shot, and she hits her first field goal of the night. You look at Ione's numbers on the year, not known for her shooting ability. Somebody who's really struggled from the free throw line as well, shooting under 40% from the free throw line. Again, she's going to be a defender to watch all day. Hayes drives into the lane, kicks out for another open shot from Walsh. This time gets nothing but air. It comes right down to Edwards, who swings it back out to Hayes. Monty Cooper thought about the shot, gets the defender up in the air, floats into the key, misses the shot. Michaela Pivick with the offensive board, goes up strong and misses it. Lynnwood still looking for their first bucket of the game. And defensively, Monty Cooper's going to tie up West Seattle. Jump ball, possession arrow to Lynnwood. 6:47 to go here in the first quarter. Lynnwood looking for their first points. Pivick off the back iron, misses it. And guess who? Giomi coming down with the rebound. And West Seattle already up 2-0 with the ball. Ione left side, underhand layup, misses it. Scramble for the ball. We're going to get another held ball. This time the possession arrow over to West Seattle, and they will keep the possession on their side of the floor with 6:30 to go in the first. Giomi throws it in.
Wow.
Charlie Elliott with her second bucket of the game.
Good offensive poise by West Seattle.
Might have reversed jinxed her. I mentioned she wasn't much of a scorer. She's the only one with points so far today. Pivick drives to the left, goes to the bucket hard, misses the shot, no call. Rebound comes down to Elliott, who's being guarded by Hayes right now. Finally picks up her dribble and swings it over to number 12. That's Annalisa Ursino. Lexi Ione with the ball. Emily Fizo being guarded by Edwards. Nice job by West Seattle to keep their poise and swing the ball around. Ball is finally batted out of bounds by Monty Cooper with 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. And West Seattle will inbound the ball underneath the hoop.
The official press table. Lynnwood administrator. Thank you.
4-0, 5:52 to go here in the first quarter. Danny Hayes taking her first breather of the game as Kelsey Rogers checks in for the first time. Ball's thrown into the backcourt. It was an inbound from out of bounds, therefore no over and back call. Ursino driving into the lane, loses it, but it goes right to Giomi. Giomi puts up a shot, misses it, but draws the foul. Foul is on Monty Cooper, her first foul of the game for either team.
I like the penetration by West Seattle.
Giomi missing the shot badly there on her first free throw attempt.
Wow.
Gets ready for her second one. This is the first free throw attempt of the game for either team. Misses it, however, they get the offensive board. That is number 10, Charlie Elliott, coming away with it. Elliott having herself a nice game. Jordan Edwards with the steal. Easy layup for Jordan. Puts Lynnwood on the board for the first time this afternoon, cutting that West Seattle lead in half. It's now 4-2, 5:26 to go in the first quarter. And Lynnwood running with the trap right now, and they're going to say jump ball, which means Lynnwood possession. Team effort there, but really give Riley Walsh the credit for tying her up at the end of the play there. And we're going to get a timeout from West Seattle. It's a full timeout. We'll take a quick break. It's 4-2. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmond School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
And welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. I cannot say enough. It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Steve Willits along with Irving Zhang and the entire cast and crew from Mount Lake Terrace High School putting on this production today, bringing you state tournament basketball. The Lynnwood Royals having a little trouble getting their offense going here so far. We're almost 3 minutes into the game, and they only have the one bucket. They trail 4-2. However, they do have the basketball as Jordan Edwards inbounds to Walsh up on top of the key. Walsh very content to let the play set up. Plenty of time on the shot clock. We're looking at 21 right now. Down low, Rogers had the ball initially. Nice job by Lexi Ione to get her hand in there. Bats it off of Rogers' leg, and West Seattle will take the ball. Once again, the full court press is on, and they almost got to it there. Walsh almost got her hand on that ball. It goes off of the leg of number 12. That's Annalisa Ursino, and really give Michaela Pivick all the credit in the world. She got her hand on that basketball, caused Ursino to pick up her dribble. Double dribbled it, and Lynnwood with another turnover. So again, the Lynnwood defense keeping them in the game so far. It's just a matter of them getting their offense going right now. Jordan Edwards into the lane, floats one up and gets it to fall. Jordan with all 4 points for Lynnwood here thus far. 4:50 to go in the first quarter. We're all knotted up at 4, and Edwards with a steal now, hits it to Pivick. Pivick with a nice pass to Walsh, lays it up and in. That is pure teamwork right there. Edwards batted it, Pivick stole it, dished it off to Walsh. Easy points, there we go again. Pivick bats it to Edwards. Edwards with the easy layup. Wow. Lynnwood is on an 8-0 run. They now lead by 4.
The defense is just suffocating West Seattle right now.
Lexi Ione finally kicks it over to Giomi. Lynnwood fans are really starting to get into it right now. They are sitting across from us on the court. And why not? They've got 8 straight points. Their team is up by 4. Fizo with a long 3, bounces off the front of the rim up into the air and comes down to Pivick. Pivick's looking to push it. She's got some numbers. She's going to go all the way. No, she dishes to Cooper. Cooper goes up. shot is blocked, and they're going to say it was a tied-up ball. Possession arrow goes to West Seattle.
There's that 6'6" presence we've been talking about.
6'6" in the middle. That changes everything for you, doesn't it, in terms of your game plan?
Yeah, especially if you're a smaller team like Lynnwood.
Lynnwood once again going right back to the full court press. Danny Hayes all over Lexi Ione, who finally dishes it off to number 3. That's Izzy Turk, the sophomore, checking in for the first time today. Ione with Jordan Edwards all over her right now. Finally kicks it over to Turk. Swings it over to that right wing where Fiza was waiting for it. Back to Turk. She looks to push it inside, and Kelsey Rogers gets her hands on it. Hits it to Edwards. Back to Rogers. Lays it up and in. Lynnwood, when they get in transition, they're tough to beat. Lynnwood with a 10-0 run. We'll keep it right here since it's we'll take a quick break. 30-second timeout. You're watching SLSN.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. Steve Willits along with Irving Zhang. Lynnwood Royals on a 10-0 run after getting off to a slow start in Irvin. Really, this was all just a matter of playing a little defense for Lynnwood. Once they got the press going, it's been all downhill from there.
Really, the offense of Lynnwood has not even set up yet. It's really just their defense, transition, and steals.
We're going to go right back to what's been working. Able to break the press is West Seattle. However, they're getting double teamed right now once they cross the line. Ursino trying to go down low, forced it. Michaela Pivic picks it off. She's looking to push right down the middle of the court. Coast to coast.
Wow.
Lays it up and in. Michaela Pivic. You think she wants a title? Her first 2 of the game. 12-4 Lynnwood. The press is back on. And look at Danny Hayes all over Turk.
And again.
Pivic with another pick. It gets picked herself from behind initially. Comes away with the basketball. And Caprice Boston, who's in for the first time today, she gets checked from behind. Caprice is fouled, and that means Lynnwood will take the ball over on the side with a new 35-second clock. 2:46 to go here in the quarter. 12-4, Royals in the lead. Trying to get to the semifinal game for the second year in a row. Last year, they did it at the 4A level. This year dropping down to 3A. And what really, quite frankly, is a tougher classification. And if they keep playing like this, they'll be playing at 5:30 tomorrow. Unfortunately, I jinxed them as Caprice Boston tries to force that pass inside. West Seattle picks it off. Turk brings the ball over the timeline, finally kicks it over to the corner. Going down low, and nice job by Boston and Rogers, both double teaming Lydia Giomi on the play. Giomi not able to come away with it, however. Lynnwood did touch the ball last.
West Seattle is forcing a little too much passes. That's why they're getting a lot of turnovers, and they really need to just settle down.
And we're not keeping the stats at the table here. We will have those at halftime, but really the steals right now, extremely one-sided. And getting that shot to go, that's Lexi Ione with her first bucket of the afternoon. 12-6, and that stops the Lynnwood 12-0 run. Shades of Central Kitsap last week, where Lynnwood went on a 23-0 run in the first half. Caprice Boston with the ball on the right wing, and she traveled, shuffled those feet, turns the ball back over to West Seattle with 1:59 to go here in the quarter. Pivic, who had checked out momentarily, checking back into the game as Caprice Boston, who had given her a little bit of a breather, goes back out. Having trouble inbounding the ball here and finally getting called for a 5-second violation. That's Charlie Elliott. Elliott very frustrated as she has a few words for her teammates as she runs back over to play defense. Nobody able to get open there, as I think the term you used earlier seems like a good adjective right now. The suffocating defense of the Lynnwood Royals really taking its toll on the Wildcats. Jordan Edwards for three, hits the front of the rim. Ball bounces into the air right towards our equipment. Danny Hayes trying to save the ball. Couldn't save it, but she does save our equipment, so we thank her for that.
Yeah.
And once again, Charlie Elliott is going to inbound the ball, or attempt to anyway, right in front of us. This time she gets it into Giomi. And West Seattle able to come across the floor. This is where they've had trouble lately, the half-court offense. They aren't even getting shots off at this point. Ball's being passed around. Giomi looking down low, throws it away. Monty Cooper picks it off. Cooper's going to try to go coast to coast, lays it up, leaves it just a bit short. And we're going to get a foul called, I believe, against Michaela Pivick on the rebound. Only the second foul called against Lynnwood in this game. Monty Cooper with the other foul. 1:22 to go. 3 fouls total between the two teams, so really nobody even remotely close to being in the bonus at this point. 1:19 to go here, first quarter. The Royals 12, Wildcats 6. Swinging the ball around right now, that's Izzy Turk. Gets over to Ione. Ione now in the corner being double teamed by Pivick and by Edwards. Ball goes out of bounds, however, they're going to say one of the Royals players touched it last. West Seattle will keep the ball down underneath the hoop, but they're down to 11 to go on the shot clock. Inbounded once again, 8 to go on the shot clock right now. And blocked by Kelsey Rogers. The ball goes out of bounds. That was Orsino trying to go over the top of her. Orsino at 5'8", going up against the much taller Rogers. Rogers is 6'1", and 5'8" versus 6'1". Usually the 6'1" player is going to get the block when you go head-to-head on that play. Yes. Down to 2 on the shot clock right now. I'm not even sure that Faizo knows about it. She doesn't. Swings the ball over to Turk. 35-second violation. 30-second shot clock violation, rather. And with 51.9 seconds to go in the first quarter, Lynnwood with a 6-point lead, and the ball goes back over to the Royals.
Another turnover.
We've got to be getting close to double digits on turnovers right now for this quarter. Edwards swings it down to Pivick. Pivick back to Edwards. Hayes on the left side. Plenty of time still. Pivick with the ball. Drives into the lane, puts up a shot, misses it, but does a nice job of drawing the foul. Believe we're going to get Lydia Giomi on the call. So we await the official ruling. That is, in fact, the case. Scott Federley, Chris Mercado, and Joel Murphy are the referees on the day. First trip to the free throw line for Lynnwood, and this trip, like all of their trips to the free throw line, brought to you by our friends over at the Edmonds Sports Academy. Pivick hits the first free throw, giving the Royals a 13-6 lead. Second one good as well. Pivick with 4 points now in the first quarter. 14-6. Lynnwood not letting up on this press. A little bit of a trap there. Pulled back a bit. 21 seconds to go here in the quarter. 14-6 score. Lexi Ione with the ball, driving right side. Underhand layup, misses it from about 8 feet out. Danny Hayes grabs the rebound. 11 seconds to go. Kicks it ahead to Cooper. Cooper tries to kick it back to Pivick. Scramble on the ground. Rogers comes away with it. They're going to say she walked with the basketball. Oh, rather, they're going to call Lynnwood with a timeout. So nice job by, I believe that came from the bench. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. 5.4 seconds to go in the quarter. 14-6, Lynnwood with the lead, and I believe, if I read that correctly, Lynnwood also with the basketball still.
Yeah. One thing I like to mention and highlight is on the defensive end for Lynnwood, Danny Hayes. She is just swarming their point guards, their ball handlers, and it is absolutely just...
She doesn't let up, does she?
Yeah.
She has a lot of energy.
I have no words for it, honestly. I'm speechless.
I think West Seattle's a little speechless right now, too, trying to figure that out. So Lynnwood does have the ball. 4 seconds to go. Rogers from 17 feet out hits the front iron. Rebound comes down to Turk. And that is the end of the first quarter. And what a quarter it was for the Lynnwood Royals. Started off a little bit slow, but they ended on a 14-2 run. Royals 14, Wildcats 6. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network from the Tacoma Dome.
If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
And welcome back once again to the Sound Live Sports Network from the Tacoma Dome. State championship action. Steve Willits along with Irvin Zhang. And we should also mention that this is being brought to you by our friends over at Shoreline Community College. And Irvin, boy, a little bit of a slow start for the Royals, but once they started employing that full court press on the defense, it's been very tough for the Wildcats just to get over the center court line.
Oh yeah. Every time you dribble, you get two defenders on you. What are you supposed to do? I mean, it forces tough passes, and as we saw, it's not been working.
Yeah, this is a Wildcat team that plays in the Metro Conference, arguably one of the better conferences in the state. 22-3 record throughout the year, and I don't know if they've ever seen anything quite like this. So Lynnwood will start off the second quarter with the basketball, looking to build on that 14-6 lead. Ball is swung over to Cooper. She throws up a three, in and out, bounces up into the air. Pivot comes down with it, goes up strong, tips her own rebound. She's still fighting for it. And they're going to say that it was last touched by Giomi. Give Michaela Pivic at least 2 offensive rebounds on that play, almost at a third, and gets Giomi to bat the ball out of bounds. Nicely done by Michaela. Edwards swinging the ball around. Riley Walsh waiting at the table, getting ready to check back in. Hayes and Edwards playing a little catch. Edwards finally drives down the lane. I should say down the baseline, kicks it to Rogers into the lane. Rogers draws the foul, and she's heading to the line shooting 2. And this trip to the free throw line also brought to you by our friends at the Edmonds Sports Academy. Rogers with her first shot, up and in. Lynnwood now 3 for 3 on the day at the free throw line. Looking for their first double-digit lead of the afternoon if Rogers can hit the second shot. Shot is up. The shot is good, 16-6. So right now, Walsh checking into the game. We've got Walsh, Pivic, Rogers, Edwards, and Hayes on the floor. For West Seattle, we'll get you caught up on their team as well as it's Giomi, Elliott, Ione, Fizo is in there as well, and Turk. Shot is missed by Ione, rebounded by Walsh, kicks it ahead to Jordan Edwards, misses the layup. She had a breakaway, just put a little too much on it, rolls off the front iron. Giomi coming away with it. And here come the Wildcats on the other end as Fizo now with the basketball. And they're going to say Fizo traveled, picked up that pivot foot. Looked like a little bit of an indecision moment there for Fizo. Wasn't sure if she wanted to pass or keep the ball. And
Bad
just
poise.
Enough of a stutter there just to where the referee had to call the travel. Walsh with the ball, kicks it over to the corner where Pivic awaits it. Back to Walsh. Lynnwood doing a nice job of swinging the ball around. Edwards thought about the three, gets her defender up in the air, kicks it to Hayes for the open three. She misses the shot. Pivic coming in there strong for the rebound. She and Lexi Ione tying each other up. West Seattle does have the possession arrow in their favor, but really that could come back and play into Lynnwood's favor later on there, as that would have otherwise been an easy rebound for West Seattle. Instead, set the possession arrow back over to Lynnwood for the next ball.
Yep.
6:19 to go here in the first half. 16-6. There's one way to break a press. Throw it as high as you can in the air to the 6'6" player, and Giomi able to come up with it. If only it were that easy. We've seen that it's not, but it was on that particular play.
Yeah.
Elliott turns around, misses the shot from about 12 feet out. Hayes came away with the initial rebound. Elliott takes it away from her. We mentioned she's a defensive player, and fouled from behind is number 3, Izzy Turk. And that should be a 3-point shot, and it in fact is. I believe we're going to get Turk shooting 3 free throws.
Yep.
Caprice Boston being called for the foul.
Fouls on number 22, Caprice Boston.
Izzy Turk at the line, hits the first free throw. Her first point here in the Tacoma Dome. Makes the score 16-7. 3 fouls for Lynnwood at this point from 3 different players. Each team with 3 team fouls. Turk misses the second shot. Might have been distracted a little bit by her own player as Lydia Giomi forgot it was a 3-shot foul. She started to head into the lane there for the second shot.
My biggest question is how many times is Michaela Pivic going to take 1 minute break and then check back in?
Seems to be a tactic that's working for Coach Edwards so far.
Yeah.
Turk gets the second shot to go. 2 out of 3. West Seattle now 2 for 5 from the free throw line as a team. Lynnwood doubling up West Seattle at this point 16-8. 5:49 to go here in the first half. Walsh looking to get the ball down low to Rogers. Nice job by Charlie Elliott to swing around the side there. Mentioned she is a very keen defensive player. Very similar to Jordan Edwards, really. And Edwards stealing the ball from Ione. She's looking to go coast to coast. Lays it up and in. Edwards with 8 points here on the afternoon. Lynnwood up by 10. Ione being trapped by Edwards one more time. Finally passes it off. Caprice Boston making contact with Turk on the pass, and they're going to get Caprice with her second foul.
Lynnwood foul number 22, Caprice Boston.
Can't say enough about the way that this Lynnwood team is playing defense, especially Jordan Edwards right now. She is all over Lexi Ione.
She has that grit and grind mentality. She'll just keep attacking you.
With the ball right now on the other side of the court from us as we were briefly blocked by one of the referees. Checking into the game for the first time and putting up her first shot, that's Lonnie Taylor. She misses it. Lynnwood comes away with it. Pivic looking to push it, trips over the basketball. Turk's going to come away with it now, and West Seattle looking to push it on the other end. Giomi in the key, floats one up over the top of Jordan Edwards and gets it to fall. Giomi with her first points of the day. She missed 2 free throws back in the first quarter. Cuts the Lynnwood lead down to 18-10. Pivic misses the shot. Fight for the ball. And we're going to get another jump ball. This time it's between Giomi and Monty Cooper.
And this is where you mentioned earlier that Michaela Pivic's hustle got them this possession later on.
Great point. Yeah, otherwise this would have been West Seattle's basketball. Rogers gets hacked from behind. No call. Looked like Turk caught her on the arm a little bit.
Held ball goes to West Seattle.
We'll get another held ball. This one's going to go over to West Seattle.
A lot of jump balls this game.
And once again, we get the "You got swatted" chant. Giomi has at least 2, maybe 3 blocks here so far in the afternoon.
Perks of being 6'6".
it helps. Ione getting the ball over to Elliott. Swings it over to an open Turk for a 3, and she hits it! Izzy Turk, her first field goal of the game. She now has 5 points on the afternoon. And what was once a 10-point lead is now down to 5. Lynnwood up 18-13, and West Seattle not going away. Jordan Edwards misses a 3. Taylor comes away with the rebound, and West Seattle can get this down to a 1-possession ball game if they can come away with a field goal here. But wow. Jordan Edwards just picks the pocket of Turk. She's got a 2-on-1, dishes to Hayes. Hayes loses the ball. Pivic picks it up, misses the shot, but draws the foul. Basketball. Pivic wide open, right baseline, in and out. Ball pops into the air, and coming away with it is nicely done as Caprice Boston. Cooper thought about the shot in the corner, dribbles around the defender, puts it up, bounces off the rim a couple times, and Lexi Ione finally able to come up with it for West Seattle. 3:12 to go here in the first half. 20-13. Ione almost threw that one away. Cooper got her hands on it. Ball is batted onto the ground. Cooper comes away with it. Somehow is able to get to her knees and throw it to Jordan Edwards. Edwards is going to look to go. No, she dishes to Pivic. Pivic kicks it out to Boston. Open 3 off the front iron. Pivic with the rebound. Kicks it over to Rogers. Rogers with the floater along the baseline, and she gets it to go. Rogers with 6 points here on the afternoon. 22-13 Lynnwood. Ione looking down low to Giomi. Giomi gets the basket. That's the game that West Seattle wants to play right there. Half court, get it into your tall post, and losing the ball on the other end is Lynnwood. Charlie Elliott able to come away with it. And West Seattle looking to gain a little momentum here from that last basket. They go right back to Giomi, and this time Jordan Edwards, very sly on her part, kind of waits for the pass to come down low, swooped in for the steal. Unfortunately for Jordan, she gets contact on Lydia Giomi, and Jordan's going to pick up a foul on the play.
Fouls on number 4, Jordan Edwards, her first.
Fifth team foul against Lynnwood, only the first for Edwards. Caprice Boston checking back out one more time. 2:18 to go here in the first half. 22-15, Lynnwood out in front. Hayes got her hand on that ball initially. She's all over Emily Fizo right now, who finally swings the ball over to Ursino. Ursino with the basketball, and Jordan Edwards with another steal. Unfortunately for Jordan, on her way to the floor, she traveled with the basketball. Jordan Edwards, I cannot wait to see the stat sheet at halftime.
Yeah.
I wonder what the record is for the state tournament for steals and a half. She's got to be getting close to it.
Yeah.
Danny Hayes gets her hand on that ball. Ursino being guarded very closely by number 33. She tries to drive the lane. Rogers gets her hand on the basketball as Ursino put up a underhanded layup, drew contact from Rogers, and Ursino heads to the line shooting 2.
Besides the 4 points, I like to emphasize that Lynnwood is pretty much locking down them going to Giomi. She only has a few opportunities to score.
Ursino misses the first free throw attempt, leaves it short. The way I'm a bit surprised, the way that the Lynnwood defense has turned the ball over time and time again, I feel like this should be more than a 7-point game right now. She's done a little bit of everything here, and certainly her teammates are helping her out a lot as well, as Pivick has had a few picks. Danny Hayes has been all over it. Caprice Boston even in there. Kelsey Rogers, Monty Cooper, Riley Walsh. It's been a team effort all around. And it's what's got Lynnwood the 7-point lead right now with 1:40 to go here in the first half. Jordan Edwards kicks it over to Michaela Pivick, swings it over to Hayes. Hayes on the right wing, can't figure out what to do with it. Finally kicks over to Edwards, back to Pivick. We're down to 2 on the shot clock. Pivick puts it up at the buzzer, hits the front of the rim. Comes down, initially looked like Ursino was going to come away with it, and finally grabbing the ball is Charlie Elliott. And West Seattle looking to push on the other side of the floor. 1:15 to go here in the half. Elliott drives the lane, gets tied up by Monty Cooper. And that is going to be Lynnwood basketball. So not a turnover in the sense of a steal, but when you can tie a player up and you have the possession arrow in your favor, that's as good as a turnover.
Yeah.
Lynnwood with the ball one more time. 1:07 to go here in the first half. They lead 22-15. Break the press. Pivick in the key. 2 players on her. Floats it in and gets it to fall. Pivick with 8 points. 24-15. We're down to 55 seconds to go in the first half. Winner of this game will play at 5:30 tomorrow against Bellevue. Invite you to stick around at halftime for the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime report. Get you caught up on statistics. Might even have an interview or two for you. And we'll get you ready to go for the second half. Michaela Pivick with the ball on the baseline, looking to inbound it. Hoping for Jordan Edwards, couldn't get open, and finally kicks it out on top to Hayes. Down to 5 seconds to go here in the half. Edwards for 3, hits it! Jordan Edwards! Give JoJo 11 on the day so far, and we're going to get a foul called right before the half? No.
Oh, yeah.
Early whistle there, but that is, in fact, the end of the first half, and Lynnwood behind the three-pointer of Jordan Edwards with their largest lead of the game, 29-17. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so on. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. Our score at halftime, the Lynnwood Royals 29, the West Seattle Wildcats 17. An exciting first half for these Royals as they're looking to punch their ticket into the semifinals. You're watching the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. We've got a very special guest with us right now, Coach Joe Marsh. Joe from the Arlington girls team. And Joe, first of all, you had a game earlier today, not quite the results you wanted, but I've got to ask you right off the bat, and do the math on this one. It's a pretty simple equation. There's 64 teams that play at the 3A level. You guys have been at the Tacoma Dome, which is only an 8-team tournament, 3 straight years. Statistically speaking, that's against all the odds, and you guys seem to manage to get back here every year. What is it about your program that's been able to sustain this level?
Well, we've just had, and by the way, we're really proud of that fact. You know, it's something to be proud of in our girls. I think for us, we just talk about consistency a lot. We had that great run that first year 3 years ago, and we really tried to build off of that. And for us, it's about the culture, you know, and getting kids to work hard and buying into what we're doing and maintaining that consistency day in and day out and working hard and executing what we try to get them to do, and it's worked out for us the last 3 years.
Now, today, you mentioned a few minutes ago here, you lost to Bishop Blanchette, sure, 67-44. Against a very tough Blanchette team. What did you think of that team looking forward? Are they a team that can make a run at the state tournament?
Oh, absolutely. Boy, if they play the way they did today, they're going to be just fine. We knew they were good, but they really came out and played really well today. All the credit to Blanchette. They played a great game. They shot the ball well. They rebounded the heck out of the ball. And we didn't shoot the ball very well at all. And when you play against good teams and you don't make baskets, it makes it for a long day.
Now, what is the mentality of a team moving forward? This is a double elimination tournament, sure, which is a little bit misleading because once you lose that first game, you're not able to win the state championship.
Right.
From a coaching standpoint, now you've been on both sides of it. 2 years ago, you played in the final game here, right, as a 4A team. Last year, you lost in the first round. We've seen it time and time again the second day. Some of these teams just don't look like they're as motivated to come out after they've lost a game. From a coach's standpoint, what do you have to do to keep the morale up? And really, right now, how are the girls feeling?
Well, I said in the locker room after the game, I said, probably the hardest thing to do besides win a state championship is come back and get through those consolation games in the morning. It's really tough. You know, there's not a lot of people in here. It's early in the morning. You've already lost one. It's a difficult chore. But for us, we're trying to get out here with a trophy now. And, we just got to get ourselves motivated. I said that one hurts this morning. And we just got to let it go and then come back ready to play tomorrow. And I think that's where we are. That you lose that first one and it really stings because that dream of a state title is gone. But you got to find a way to get it back. And we've worked hard all year. I told them I'm not ready for this season, and I'm not ready to be done hanging out with them just yet. So I'd like to keep it going a little bit longer.
Sure. Now tomorrow morning you play. So a two-part question. Number one, what do we know about Wilson going forward? And number 2,
Well, Lynnwood's defense is tremendous, and I have a ton of respect for Everett Edwards and those girls. Not only are they super talented, but they play really hard, and they win the right way. They do everything the right way. I just love watching them. Their defense is just tremendous. Their pressure is relentless, and you can't make mistakes with Lynnwood because they're going to keep you.
Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. Clog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime report. Lynnwood 29 at West Seattle 17. Steve Willits along with Irvin Zhang. And Irvin, looking at these first half stats, the one that jumps off the page, the turnovers.
Yeah, definitely. 17 turnovers for
Todd?
17 turnovers for the West Seattle Wildcats versus only 8 for the Lynnwood Royals. And what makes that so just bad is the fact that they're shooting well. West Seattle is shooting 46.2% versus Lynnwood shooting 33%. But because of the turnovers, Lynnwood has 20 more shots.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that next too. The total field goals. What are the numbers there that we have so far for both teams?
33 shots versus 13 shots.
And how many makes for both teams?
11 versus 6.
So Lynnwood 11 for 33. So really what's keeping West Seattle in the game, the fact that Lynnwood's only hitting 33% of those shots. Conversely, West Seattle not able to get the shots off, but when they do, they're making some of them, and that's why this game is probably closer than it really should be right now.
And when you hold Lynnwood star Michaela Pivic to 3 for 11 shooting, it should be a closer game.
And immediately coming out of the gate here for the second half, West Seattle catching some fire there is Emily Fizo getting her first bucket of the game. Fizo, one of the leading scorers on this team. She's averaging over 12 points per game, and she is a player that they really need to get going here in the second half if they're going to compete. When your 12.1 per game player gets shut out in the first half, you need to get something going differently in the third quarter, and that's what they've done so far. Going to get a foul called against West Seattle on the play. Going to get that on Elliott, her first foul. First team foul against West Seattle here in the quarter. 29-19, Lynnwood with the 10-point lead. Swinging the ball around, Walsh to Hayes. Hayes thought about the 3, faked it. Dishes over to Edwards. Edwards being fronted by Giomi. Finally kicks to Hayes for an open 3, and she drains it. Danny right now. Edwards still dancing around, fronting Giomi while she's guarding Ione as well. 3-point shot missed. I believe that was Elliott as we were shielded by the referee. Fizo's going to put up a 3-pointer, and she hits it. Emily Fiso with her 5th point of the game, all coming here in the third quarter. 35-22, the Royals by 13. 6:03 to go in the third quarter. Walsh over on the right side, kicks it back to Edwards. A lot of pushing down low there. Elliott not happy about that as Michaela Pivic went to the ground. I believe they're going to call that on Elliott away from the basketball.
A lot of emotion being shown from Elliott.
Elliott picking up her 3rd foul. Lynnwood already forcing West Seattle into 4 fouls in just a little over 2 minutes in the third quarter. Lynnwood 3 fouls away from being in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Not a good sign if you're a Wildcat fan.
Yeah, definitely not.
Lexi Ione with the ball, being guarded very heavily by Danny Hayes. Looking down low. They're going to get a foul away from the basketball as it looked as though Monty Cooper might have been trying to front Lydia Giomi. And they are, in fact, going to call Cooper for the foul. Her second. First team foul against Lynnwood in the half. Emily Fizo inbounding the ball underneath the hoop, kicks it out to Lexi Ione. Finds Elliott over on the right baseline, misses the shot. Monty Cooper comes away with it, kicks it ahead to Hayes. Lynnwood looking to push it here. Swinging it over to Walsh on the right wing, back to Hayes. Lynnwood now going to slow it down a bit. They find Edwards in the corner, open for 3. Hits it! Jordan Edwards with a big bucket. She now has 4 in the quarter. Give her 15 for the game. Jordan knows what it's like to play in a semifinal game. She's looking to get back there, and the way they're playing right now, They might just be 13 minutes away from doing that as Cooper bats the ball out of bounds. West Seattle keeping possession with 17 to go on the shot clock. 67-44. So one of our semifinal games tomorrow, which will take place at 3:45, Cleveland versus Bishop Blanchette. Two Metro teams that actually played each other one time in the regular season, a game that Blanchette won by 4. Emily Fizo misses the shot. Riley Walsh comes away with it. Third team that's already moved on is Bellevue. Defeated Prairie 51-39 in the game right before this one. So Bellevue awaits the winner of this game for the second matchup in the semis. And Kelsey Rogers with a floater.
This game is slowly going away from West Seattle.
Edwards kicks it over to Boston. Back to Edwards. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Edwards is going to kick it cross court to Hayes. We're down to 1 on the shot clock, and the ball is finally tipped and taken away by Turk. 30-second clock went off. However, they're going to say West Seattle was already in possession, so they'll play through it. Giomi on the other end gets blocked by both Rogers and Edwards. Thought we might get a foul there momentarily. The refs say it was clean. Cooper with the ball on the other end. And give Rogers and Edwards a lot of credit on that play. Hayes for 3. Swish! Danny Hayes with her second 3 of the half. Lynnwood up by 22. Once again, that net getting stuck as the referees have to call a timeout to fix it. We had a 29-17 halftime score. Lynnwood outscoring West Seattle 17-7 here early on in the second half, and with 2:44 to go in the third quarter, they're now out to their largest lead of the game, 46-24.
And this high-scoring Lynnwood offense is more what we are accustomed to seeing.
Well, you knew they weren't going to shoot 33% for the entire game. You kept them down long enough in the first half, and surely enough, they're starting to come alive here in the third quarter.
Yeah, those three-pointers are coming in bunches.
Ione drives right down the lane, misses the shot, lifted a bit short. Cooper comes away with it. She's looking to push down on the other end, puts up a shot, misses it, but draws the foul, and Monty Cooper will head to the line shooting 2.
And if these 2 free throws are made, Lynn will be doubling West Seattle's score, 48-24. But that's also an if.
Elisa Ernesino picks up the foul. That's her 3rd of the game. 5th team foul against West Seattle. Cooper leaves the first one short. Monty still looking for her first points of the game. It's more than made up for it on defense today. Gets the second shot to fall, and that trip to the free throw line was brought to you by our friends over at the Edmonds Sports Academy. It's an academy that knows these young ladies wearing the white very well. So more than a few of them have gone through the academy. Emily Fizo for 3 off the back iron. Michaela Pivick able to come up with it. Tries to go behind her back. Charlie Elliott takes the ball off the ground, and Michaela Pivick blocks the shot from behind. Scramble for the ball. Hayes has it briefly. Elliott goes to the ground with her and finally ties her up. Going to get a jump ball possession arrow for West Seattle. A lot of great defensive players out on this floor, and they're not all wearing Lynnwood Royals jerseys either.
Yeah.
You knew coming into the game that Charlie Elliott was a very good defender, and she is not disappointing at all. Showing good hustle and intensity all throughout the game as well.
She has that feisty attitude that every good defensive stopper is known for.
And as soon as we say that, Elliott picks up her 4th foul. Say what, with 1:58 to go in the third quarter, and Elliott 1 foul away from being disqualified from this game. That is a player that the Wildcats do not want to lose if they hope to get into this game at all.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The door is slowly shutting right now.
Ione with the ball. Kicks it over to Elliott. Elliott looking for Giomi. Nice job by West Seattle to swing the ball around looking for an open shot. Ursino throws the 3 ball way too hard off the 5th team foul against Lynnwood here in the quarter. So with 1:03 to go, Lynnwood up comfortably by 22 right now, 47-25. Emily Fizo looking for the deep pass. A la Russell Wilson to Jermaine Kearse. Kelsey Rogers playing a little DB on that play, bats it away, and Lynnwood able to come up with another steal. Lynnwood slowing things down a bit right now. 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. 15 now on the shot clock. Finally, Jordan Edwards cuts into the key, kicks it up to a cutting at Caprice Boston.
That shot looked like it was blocked.
The ball did get batted out of bounds by West Seattle. So 8 seconds to go on the shot clock as Izzy Turk and Michaela Pivic each checking back into their teams. Emily Fizo taking a seat for West Seattle, and Caprice Boston doing the same for Lynnwood. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Hayes catches the inbound. Over to Cooper. Cooper in the lane. Kicks it out to Pivic. Open three. Hits off the front of the iron, bounces off, and Giomi coming away with the rebound. Then draws the foul. That's going to be the 6th team foul against Lynnwood. Does not put West Seattle into the bonus quite yet, but it does mean moving forward here into the fourth quarter, they will be shooting free throws from here on out. Lexi Ione with the basketball, looking for an open player. Izzy Turk back to Lexi Ione. West Seattle finally crossing the center line. 18 seconds to go here. About ahead of the West Seattle Wildcats. 47-25 heading into the fourth quarter. Irvin, we say all the right things, trying to make it sound like it's more interesting than it is. What does West Seattle need to do to come back into this game? What can they do to possibly get back into it? But really, at this point, has Lynnwood punched their ticket?
Yeah, I think the only way they'd be able to come back is a flurry of threes and just Lynnwood collapsing.
I've never seen Lynnwood do that yet, so we'll see. Stay tuned as we head to the fourth quarter. Again, if Lynnwood wins this game, which it looks like they will play the Bellevue Wolverines tomorrow at 5:30. Tacoma Dome. If you're not able to make the game, we will be broadcasting that one right back here on the Sound Live Sports Network. Danny Hayes with the ball in the corner. We're down to 7 to go on the shot clock. Cooper for three. Hits it! Monty Cooper with her first bucket of the game. Goes along with the free throw she had in the third quarter. She now has 4 on the afternoon. Lynnwood once again doubling up West Seattle, 50-25. Ursino with a shot from the wing, airballs it, throws it over the rim. Cooper comes away with it. And boy, if there was ever any chance of West Seattle getting back into the game, this is not how you do it. Kelsey Rogers with the pass from Danny Hayes. Rogers now with 10 points on the day. Lynnwood scoring the first 7 points of the quarter, increasing their lead to 27. When it rains, it pours, and Lynnwood just pulling away right now. 3 ball. Gives Lexi Ione with her first tray of the game. She now has 5 on the afternoon. 52-28 Lynnwood. 6:38 to go here. Jordan Edwards kicks it over to Monty Cooper. A lot of contact there, no foul. We're down to 13 seconds to go on the shot clock right now. Lynnwood very content to eat up as much of that clock as possible. Edwards drives the lane, kicks it out to Cooper. Cooper driving in from the left side, loses the basketball. 1 second to go on the shot clock and unable to get the ball up in the air, as Kelsey Rogers only had about 2 seconds before that shot clock expired when she was able to get the ball back. Good news for West Seattle is you held Lynnwood. The bad news is that you're still down by 24 with 6:16 to go.
Yeah.
West Seattle's calling a full timeout. We'll take a break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
All right, welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. Steve Willits along with Irvin Zhang. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network presented by Shoreline Community College. The Lynnwood Royals, for the second year in a row, appear in the state semifinals. They are 6 minutes and 16 seconds away. They're currently leading West Seattle by 24, 52-28. Ursino able to get across the center line, being guarded by Hayes. Kicks it into Giomi. Giomi back to Ursino. Gets caught underneath the hoop, kicks it back to Giomi, who goes up strong and draws the foul. Sonia Elliott, the fifth-year head coach for West Seattle, keeping most of her starters in at this point. She's still playing to win it. Lydia Giomi missing the front end of 2 free throws. She now is 0 for 3 on the afternoon from the free throw line. Giomi only 4 points here so far today. We wondered before the game how the 6'6" player would be contained by Lynnwood. They seem to be doing something right.
Problem being a post player is you need to get in position and get a pass. But with Jordan Edwards and Danny Hayes, you can't get a pass off. And that's
Plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds. Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Tacoma Dome. Steve Willits along with Irvin Zhang. 4:51 to go here in the game. Lynnwood up 52-29, Irvin. And at this point, West Seattle still playing all their starters.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess you want your players to fight like they did all season and just fight to the remainder of this game, but I don't know.
You want to fight, but at the same time, you might want to remind yourself eventually here as the game starts to get away from you that you have to turn around and play again at 10:30 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's true.
So Lynnwood with the basketball. No basket on the play as there was a little confusion. I saw one referee signal for a made basket. 30 seconds left on the shot clock. 4:45 to go. Lynnwood up on top, 52-29. Throwing the ball around, just letting as much of that clock tick away as possible, and sneaking in there and reading that play beautifully is Lydia Giomi. Forces a jump ball on Monty Cooper, and West Seattle with the turnover. So if you're Lynnwood, you need to start thinking a little bit about the Bellevue Wolverines, tomorrow's opponent at this point. A Bellevue team that I believe also reached the semifinals last year at the 3A level. Of course, Lynnwood playing as a 4A team last year, so they did not play each other here in the Tacoma Dome. And Bellevue, a team that is a little bit taller than Lynnwood, so they will have to contend against that. Height doesn't seem to matter. We're seeing that today. They seem to play just as well against the tall teams as they do the shorter ones, and Lynnwood will certainly have a quickness advantage just based on what I watched from the Bellevue Wolverines earlier today. Pivic misses the first shot, gets her own rebound and goes up strong, draws the foul, and she heads to the line.
And what I personally saw from Bellevue is they have a few defensive lapses at critical moments when you just wonder, like, what is going on there?
They won that game over Prairie today, 51-29, as Pivic hits the first free throw. And this trip to the free throw line also brought to you by our friends over at the Edmonds Sports Academy. Yeah, Bellevue went ahead 8-0 in that game, and every time they went on a little bit of a run, they just seemed to let Prairie sneak back into it a little bit, and really it was fairly close until the last minute or two.
Yeah.
Again, the final score was 51-39. Bellevue does have a few players that you're going to need to keep an eye on tomorrow if you're Lynnwood, as ball is batting around here. Get too far ahead of ourselves. This game is still, in fact, going on, but with a 24-point lead with 3:41 to go, I think it's pretty safe to say Lynnwood's in control right now as Edwards kicks it out to Walsh, swings it to Pivic. Pivic driving into the lane, kicks it to Edwards for the three, hits it. Jordan Edwards. Give her 18 for the game right now, 56-29. One player in particular that you need to watch tomorrow, the junior guard, 6'1" guard at that. Nice shot by Charlie Elliott. She gets the basket to fall. Elliott really having a nice game for West Seattle. She has 11. Shelby Kanzler, the 6'1" junior for Bellevue, averages 15.3 points per game. They've got a three-guard offense, so actually two guards and a forward that do most of their scoring.
Yeah, Mandy Seward's also one of them.
Yep.
Wow.
Averages 14.2 points per game, and the other one is Tatiana Struan, who is a 6'1" forward, averaging 11.91 points per game. So, again, a little bit of height for Bellevue, a lot of quickness for Lynnwood. Should be an interesting matchup in the semi. Emily Fizo misses that shot. Elliott, once again, fighting to get the rebound, comes away with it. Reminder, she's playing with 4 fouls right now, too. Lexi Ione goes up strong, and she gets the ball to fall into the hoop. Give Ione her 5th point of the quarter, 7th for the game. It's now 56-33. Lynnwood by getting some time on the Tacoma Dome floor. Caprice Boston kicks it over to Cooper. Also in the game right now, number 23, Taylor Fahey. Fahey, the sophomore, who has done a nice job coming in off the bench all year long, getting her first action of the day as well. And really, West Seattle not going too far away from their main rotation. Seem to see the same 6 or 7 players in and out for them, and they're going to continue with that as they now have a lineup of Elliott, Ursino, 5.
Filmmaking? Do you want to become filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901. Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic director.
Was there an intimidation factor in terms of Giomi being the tall presence that she is? You held her to 5 points today.
Yeah, I mean, she's like amazingly tall. We had our big Kelsey. She did a great job on locking her down, and we were able to be prepared for that game. But she did good, and we were able to lock her down a little bit more.
So, 24-point victory tomorrow. You get the Bellevue Wolverines. How much do you know about Bellevue?
I know Shelby Kanzler on that team. I used to play with her, and Deja, and they're both really good players, and their all-around team is a good. Really good team, and I mean, we're just going to watch some tape on them, I think, and get ready for the game tomorrow.
So Shelby was actually a teammate of yours then?
Yeah.
Okay. So that could be a good matchup tomorrow. Another tall player, but height does a Wolverine team that brings a lot of height, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
So once again, I'll let you get back to the locker room here. We got to get a picture first, though, as I think Jordan knows this routine pretty well, as Angelo Camo is going to do this for us and give us the honors.
All right.
So once again, here we go. Jordan's got a whole collection of these shirts at home now, between us and STSPN and everything else. So, hey, Jordan, again, congratulations. Great game.
Thank you.
See you back here tomorrow at 5:30.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good. And let's see if we can get her dad now. Everett Edwards, a very popular guy. We'll have him sit down real quickly, and then I know he wants to get to the locker room. Coach, first of all, second year in a row to the semifinals. Congratulations on a big victory.
Hey, thank you very much.
So, watching the first quarter today, a little bit of a slow start initially, 4-0 early on, and it looked like the offense was having trouble getting going, and then you guys turned up the defense.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that we necessarily turned on. We wanted to kind of press and try to have success from the start of the game, but we just kept on grinding it out, and I think in the end our pressure kind of got to them a little bit, and we were able to get a little bit of separation.
And I know in the radio show on KRKO last week you mentioned to me that you'd played this team before. I think it was in the summer league.
Yes.
How much did that help in terms of having knowledge of what they do and how to play them?
It probably mainly helped just going against Lydia, and her length. We've gone up against a lot of kids, Deja with Inglemore, Jasa with Juanita. So we've gone up against kids with size, but Lydia's a little bit longer and a little bit more athletic than those two, so it was nice for us to be able to get a taste of playing against her this summer.
And you held them to 13 field goal attempts in the first half.
Wow.
Obviously, when you're playing defense and you're swarming like that, that's a huge factor, isn't it?
Well, it is. That's what we rely on. That was the game plan. I mean, tomorrow might be a whole different thing versus Bellevue, but the game plan today was to, play up tempo, to play, Lynnwood basketball and pressure the ball wherever it goes, and I think we did a good job of that today.
So if folks come down here at 5:30 tomorrow, or if they watch us on the Sound Live Sports Network, what can they expect? And so we'll post these stats online. Maybe we'll even post them out by the Sound Live Sports Network. We'll take a photo of this and just post it on Twitter if anybody's interested. But just looking very briefly overall, West Seattle was led by Charlie Elliott. Can't say enough about the game she played. 11 points, 8 rebounds, hustle all day long for Charlie, and played herself a wonderful game even in the loss.
You can just see her work, just keep working. Despite the score, she didn't care. She just wanted to go out there and play as hard as she could.
Mentioned Lydia Giomi, the 6'6" player, 5 points, 8 rebounds. A telling stat for them, when you've got a 6'6" player down low, she only had 4 field goal attempts today. So really, Lynnwood containing her, not even letting her get off shots.
Yeah, there's not enough credit given to the amount of defensive lockdown that they had, shutting down all the passing lanes given to Lydia Giomi.
So looking at Lynnwood right now, 3 players in double figures for scoring, led by Jordan Edwards. She had 18 points off 6 steals. Michaela Pivick just doing what she does, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Kelsey Rogers, 10 points and 2 through the rest of the scoring for Lynnwood here. Riley Walsh, 7 points. Mike Cooper, 6. Taylor Fahey with 2, and then
Sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign